Hi guys, this is the Nerdy Tech Expert with another video, and today we are going to compare, the best and industry-leading noise cancellation headphones from Sony, the 1000X series Trio, the first generation, the second generation, and the third generation. Why are we making this video so late? Because the last generation, the Mark III model, came out in 2018 and it's been 2 years. Well, because the fourth generation is just around the corner. There are many leaks on the internet and many specification leaks. So when the Mark IV will come out, these will go on sale. And if you are not interested in buying the full price $350 Mark IV, the fourth generation headphone, then which one of these is suitable for you? So let's see. So let's start by starting and clearing one thing that all of these headphones have. The common things. All of them have 40mm drivers. They all are Bluetooth supported. They all are LDAC supported. They all are high resolution supported via Bluetooth or via 3.5mm auxiliary cable. And all of them are noise cancellation. All of them have that touch sensitive controls, and two of them, the first generation and the second generation, have the S Masters digital amplifier built in, and the only exception is the Mark III model, which has the analog amplifier, and we'll get that into later. So let's start with the first generation Mark IV headphone. These came out in 2016, and it took me by surprise because I have been using Sony headphones for quite a long time, and my first noise cancellation headphone from Sony was NC33, the white color earbuds that had extra circuitry, and one AA battery goes in and it performs the noise cancellation from that. And my mind was always set because I think that noise cancellation was a thing for companies like Bose and other companies, that because they were the pioneers in noise cancellation. This one took me by surprise because its reviews were so good and I had to get them. So the first generation headphones that came out, they were quite heavy. Their competitors were Bose QC35. They were industry leading headphones back in 2016, and they directly compared with those. And the best thing about these headphones I like is their tactical black design. It was so good, but they were heavy and they were not as comfortable as the QC35s. And the ear paddings were good, and the noise cancellation was very good. That's the only thing where it literally was very good at. And the sound quality, man, it was the best. There was no competition between the QC35-2s and these models. These simply sound amazing. They had the best bass frequencies, best mid frequencies, and best high frequencies. Well, not the best high frequencies, because Bose always emphasizes on clear soundstage, and those reproduce best high frequencies. So these had a bit emphasis on bass and warmer tones, and the QC35s had the more crystal clear sound. So a little more emphasis on the bass on this one, and a little bit more clear audio reproduction on the Bose QC35s. The noise cancellation was very good, very comparable to the QC35s, and they produced very good audio quality. And when compared with an LDAC supported device at that time, and if you play back a high resolution track on this, it was simply amazing. You could literally hear out every instrument in its full dynamic range, and it was very good. And these headphones were very good at that time, and they were my go-to headphones whenever I worked and had to do some work on my laptop and wanted to disconnect it with the whole world and all the noise. I just put them on and set the volume to 50% or 40% and put the noise cancellation on, and they performed really good. So moving on to the next generation of the 1000X, the Mark II one. They are design wise basically the same. The both Mark 1 and Mark 2, if you put them side by side, they are almost identical. Only the color difference is there. These are the champagne gold color and these are the tactile black color. They all have that touch sensitive controls for volume and music skipping, and the same padding. You can see the same padding on the holes for where your ears goes in. They are same in size for both of them, and they also have that quick attention button, that if you have headphones on and you want music is playing and you want to talk to someone, just put on your hand on the right ear cup and the music will stop and you can talk to the other person, and when you take your hand away, the music continues. So what actually changed in this one? This is Sony's first model that came out with atmospheric pressure. What this actually is, if you are traveling on a plane, on a plane which is 10,000 feet above the ground level, the atmospheric pressure changes, and the drivers reproducing the sound have issues at that atmospheric pressure. So if you click on the optimize button on this headphone, they adjust the atmospheric pressure according to the situation you are in the plane or wherever you are. So the sound quality wise, they are pretty identical, but this one has more emphasis on bass. They increased the bass a bit more, and also the highs are very close to the QC35s, and the noise cancellation is much better on this one than that, specifically in the higher frequency range. This one blocks out the higher frequencies good enough. This one blocks out the higher frequencies very good, and the Mark III model, well, that's only another level, and I'll get to that later. And this is the first model that also connects with Sony's Headphone Connect and Headphone Connect app, and if you connect this model with that app, you can easily switch between sound signatures, the warm sound signature, excited sound signature, bass boosted sound signature, virtual surround sound, and wherever the sound you want to come in towards you, from the front, from the side, from the back, wherever, that can be adjusted on this one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And they are also quite heavy than the same one, so not as comfortable as the QC35s, but sound quality wise and noise cancellation wise, they are simply better than noise cancellation headphones from both the QC35s and the QC35s 2s as well, because those are also identical models, and these are much better than the QC35 2s. And lots of people complained about the weight of this headphone, and the comfort level of the paddings and the size of the holes where your ears go in, that they are not comfortable. So the next generation, in the next generation, they were totally they just blown it out of the park. So let's start with the Mark III model. The third generation, Sony literally heard all of the complaints that were from the consumer side about the weight, about the comfort level, and about the size of the ear paddings and the hole in which the ears goes in. And they took it even further with the QN1 noise cancellation chip. That was simply amazing. And one more thing they added was an analog amplifier. They totally dumped the S Master's digital amplifier and put in the analog amplifier. And then comes in the Mark III model. Design wise, this is not the same as the first generation or the second generation. If you look them side by side, you can clearly see the differences. You can clearly see the differences in their headband design and the padding on the this one. If you can see, look at the padding here, this is quite less padding and it is more bulky here, and if you put it on, you can see it has more bulk to it. And on the Mark III model, you can see the padding is, wow, just too much, even on the upper side of the headphone and on the inner side of the headphone as well. And when you put it on, it hugs your head pretty well. You see, the bulk is gone, the weight is very less, and if you compare the padding, it is even softer than the Mark II one, and the hole is bigger than the Mark II one, and your ear just simply goes in like a glove. It's made for these beautiful and amazing comfort. And what puts this off the charts is the QN1 chip for noise cancellation. You see, the first one and the second ones, they had one DAC chip for noise cancellation and sound reproduction. This one has a separate digital analog amplifier for sound reproduction and a separate QN1 chip for the noise cancellation. And man, it simply works when you put them on and when they are on their full capacity of noise cancellation. You are just totally disconnected from the world. You are in a bubble of music and nothing else. They are so good. They blocks high frequencies, low frequencies, mid frequencies perfectly, and they are even better than the Bose 700s. They are their latest noise cancellation headphones, the Bose 700, and these are even better than that. Bose literally dropped their crown and lost their crown with the sound quality of second generation, and this one has an analog amplifier which even puts it up a notch. It's that good. The sound reproduction on this one is on another level. It's just like you are in a live concert when you are playing a track. The bass, the sound stage, the high tones, the mid tones, they are just delivered in such power that you literally feel that you are in a live concert and everything is happening in front of you. And when you play back some high resolution tracks on this one, it's like you're in a studio. Frankly, it's like you're in a studio and everything is being directly played in front of you, and you can hear every subtlety in noise in your music, and no noise from outside. It's just beauty and just music and a very comforting time for you when you put these on. So the comfort level is better than Bose, the sound quality is better than Bose, and these are best noise cancellation headphone money can buy on the market right now. They have all the features, the touch control, the quick attention button, the quick attention mode, atmospheric pressure, connection with the headphones connect app, and the comfort level and the sound quality. These are simply the best. So what comes down? So the final conclusion, which suits you better? I'll simply put it straightforward. If you are not a frequent flyer and you don't travel a lot on planes, get the first one. It doesn't have that atmospheric pressure thing, but it has that optimizer that reproduces sound according to your head and hair and ear style. So it has everything that you want for local commute and disconnecting from a little noise from the cafe, or if you want to focus on work and want to get disconnected from the noise behind. These are the perfect. But the only caveat is these you may not get brand new, because I think Sony has stopped production on the first generation. You might get second hand or refurbed on eBay or Amazon, and you can get them at a very cheap price. Now if you are a frequent flyer and you are not audiophile and you are not into high resolution audio and that analog amplifier, and you don't want the best one noise cancellation, then the Mark II is simply the best for you. The only thing I would say, many people ask that question, that they have the Mark II one, should they upgrade to Mark III? The only thing matters here is the comfort level and the sound quality. If you are okay with the comfort level of Mark II, you don't need to jump to Mark III. But if you are having issues with the comfort level of Mark II, then yes, Mark III is simply the best. And if you, the same thing with the Mark 1, if you are not an audiophile and doesn't care about that high resolution audio quality and other stuff, then Mark 2 is best for you. But if you are literally going all in, and if you are getting a very good deal on the Mark 3, then I would simply suggest that if it is a good deal, go for the Mark 3. It has everything these two offer and extra. The digital amplifier on these are good, but analog amplifier on this one, the Mark III model, is simply awesome. The sound reproduction is very good, and they have separated the sound production chip from the noise cancellation chip on the Mark III, which actually reproduces crystal clear audio, and they have worked really well on the acoustics on this one. So this is my conclusion, and I hope I helped you in purchasing any of these. If you like that video, then please hit the like button and subscribe, and don't forget to tap on that notification bell so that whenever awesome videos like this come online, you get notified right away. Peace out.